Hello everybody! Today I'm going to talk about the wobble sound, which is featured in many works of modern contemporary popular music and which is well suited for annoying your parents, your kids, your wife, husband, cats, birds or dogs, or in fact any living being in your house. It's a trademark of all modern electronic music, although this dude already used it in the mid-70s of the last millennium. Once again, I'm going to show this on the Novation Circuit because it's got the most flexible synth engine and, most important for this kind of sound, a lot of dials for live sound tweaking, which is important for this style of sound. So, okay, without further ado, let's jump into the editor. Okay, I've connected my circuit to my Surface via USB port and booted up the isotonic editor. As you can see, I'm in Synth 2 and I've initialized this patch by clicking on the button in the top right. I want this patch to be kind of aggressive sounding, so in the first step I select the oscillator's waveforms. It's a square wave for oscillator 1 and a per wave for oscillator 2, probably means percussion wave. To give some more depth to the sound, I'll pitch oscillator 2 up by 12 semitones and slightly detune it by some cents. Try to modify the density and V-sync options of both oscillators too, to adjust the sound to your liking. Move on to the distortion settings in the bottom left. I set the type to valve and adjusted compression and level a bit. Next, I adjust chorus and equalizer. Then, adjust the keyboard octave so we can play in the bass key. This type of sound needs a sharp attack and a fast release, so I set that up in the envelope section accordingly. The bass sound is now finished, and now we are going to add the wobble effect. We can achieve that by setting up a low-pass filter, which will then be controlled by a low-frequency operator or LFO. A low-pass filter is basically an equalizer, which takes away higher frequencies from the sound signal. First, we need to set up the filter. Set up the filter's envelope, then select low-pass 12 dB as filter type. Set drive around to 60, frequency to 100, track to 110 and resonance to 45. Also, set envelope to frequency to around -64. Now we'll set up our first LFO, set it to sine wave and change the phase offset to 20. Set it up to be key synced, so every time you hit a key, the LFO will start again. You can change this if you want the LFO to run independently from your key presses. The LFO is now ready for action, but the sound still isn't pulsating. You need to assign the LFO to the low-pass filter you set up earlier. This can be done in the mod matrix. The mod matrix lets you select two sources which will alter your destination. For our wobble sound to work, we need to select our LFO as a source and filter frequency as the destination. To hear the change, dial up the mod depth value all the way up to 63. Now, the LFO1's sine wave will change the filter frequency periodically. Once the sine wave hits its peak, the filter will let all frequencies pass. When the sine wave hits its minimum, the filter will be closed and no sound will emerge. In this example, I set up even more LFOs to control oscillator 1 V-sync, filter drive and pulse width index. We're almost done, but one crucial thing is still missing. We want to control the wobble speed with one of the knobs. To achieve this, we need to set up the macro buttons. Set up macro 1 to control LFO1 rate and set up macro 2 to control LFO2 rate. Don't forget to set the depth to 63, otherwise no changes will happen when you twist the knobs. In this example, I set up some more macro dials to control noise level, semitone pitch and so on. And that's it, a wobble sound. Try changing some of these variables for interesting results. For example, use other waveforms in the oscillators or in the LFOs. And as always, thanks for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumb up. If you want to see more of these videos in the future, please consider subscribing to my channel.